Today we're making a simple mesh water bottle holder with an optional bow detail. This is a quick and fun crochet project that you can make in any size you want. You can find the free written pattern at vivcrochets.com or linked in the description below. And if you like this tutorial, please let me know by giving this video a like or commenting down below. Thanks so much, and let's get started. For this project, I used about 65 grams of Re-Up yarn in the color Full Moon. And this is a number 4 or medium weight yarn. And you can use any yarn you want, but cotton is a good choice if you don't want it to stretch too much. I'll also be using the recommended 5.5mm hook, some scissors, and a yarn needle. First, we're going to start with the base of the water bottle holder, and we're going to make a slip knot. For this part, you can substitute a magic ring if you want, but I'll show you the slip knot method. So to make a slip knot, we're going to hold the yarn over our hand with the tail end at the bottom. Hold the yarn with your thumb and make sure you leave a few inches long, and then grab the top, wrap it around 2 fingers to form an X, and then hold it with your pinky. Then with your hook, go under one side of the X, then over, grab the other side, and pull it through. Then remove your fingers and tighten the knot. Now we're going to chain 4. So to chain, yarn over, pull through. Again, yarn over, and pull through. Then we'll do 2 more for a total of 4. And once we have 4 chains, we're going to slip stitch to the first chain that we made. So go over, insert your hook into the V of this first chain, and make sure you go under the back loop as well. So under this loop in the back, so we have 2 loops on our hook. Then with these 2 fingers, we're going to grab the loose end here and our 4 chains. Like that, and we'll pull it away from our hook. Then we're going to complete our slip stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And now we should be pinching the center of this ring. Now for the first round of the base, we're going to do 12 double crochets. So first we're going to chain 2. And to do a double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook into this ring, yarn over, pull through. Now we should have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we'll do another double crochet, so again, yarn over, insert your hook into that ring, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 2 double crochets, this one and this one. And we're going to do 10 more until we have a total of 12. And if it starts to get crowded, you can sort of push your double crochets over to the right and make some more room for your next double crochets. So here I have my 12 double crochets. You can count them using the V's at the top. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And here is our 2 chains that we made in the very beginning. So now we're going to slip stitch to the very first double crochet we made, which is this one here. So we're going to insert our hook into the V at the top of this first stitch. So go under the V at the top, then yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on our hook and tighten your slip stitch. And then we're going to take this loose end we left in the very beginning and pull it to tighten this hole in the center. Now our first round is finished. Next, we're going to increase the size of our base. So round 2, we're going to chain 2. And we're going to start every round with a chain 2 and end with a slip stitch. And the first stitch of this round is going to go into that same stitch that we slip stitched to. So this same space right here, we're going to do 2 double crochets into this same stitch. So again, yarn over, go into that same space that we slip stitched to, and do a double crochet. Then we're going to do a second one into that same space. So go back into that stitch and do a second double crochet. Next, we'll move on to the next stitch and we'll also do 2 double crochets into this next stitch. So this one here, you can see the V. We'll go under that V and do a double crochet. And then do our second one into that same stitch. Then we'll move on to the next stitch and also do 2 double crochets. And we're going to work all the way around doing 2 double crochets into each stitch. And this is the last stitch of the round. Make sure that you're not going into this slip stitch because this does not count as a stitch. And if you want to make sure, then you should have a total of 24 double crochets. Next, we're going to do a slip stitch that we do at the end of every round. So we're going to look for the first stitch that we made this round, which is right here, right next to our chain 2. And at the top, we have that V. We're going to go under that V and do a slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on our hook and tighten it. And there is round 2. If you're using a really bulky yarn, then 2 rounds may be enough for your water bottle holder and you can skip to the body part. But if you want to continue increasing the size of the space, it should be the size at the bottom of your water bottle. We're going to add another increase round. Again, we'll chain 2. And remember, the first stitch of the round is that same stitch we just slip stitched to. And in the first stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Then move on to the next stitch. And in this next stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. So do 1 and then 2 into that same stitch. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. So 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets. So next is 1 double crochet. Then in the next stitch, it's 2 double crochets. And we're going to go all the way around doing 1 and then 2 and then 1 and then 2. And as long as you completed the pattern correctly, then we should end with 2 double crochets in the very last stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch to the first stitch of the round again. So go into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through the loop on our hook and tighten. And round 3 is complete. And for round 3, we should have a total of 36 stitches. So I have my water bottle here and we're going to put it over like that. And you can see it's slightly bigger than the bottom of my water bottle, which is good. You don't want it to be smaller. It should be equal or a little bit bigger. And if it's the right size, then we can continue on to the body. But if you do want to make your base bigger, then you can add another increase round. And to do that, we're going to chain 2. And the pattern for the 4th round is going to be 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets. And then it repeats 1, 1, then 2, 1, 1, then 2. So now we're going to start the body of our water bottle holder, and we're going to chain 2 like we've been doing. And we're going to do 1 double crochet into every stitch around. So we're not doing 2 double crochets anymore. Each stitch will only have 1 double crochet. And we're going to slip stitch at the end. And you can see that it's not flat anymore. It's starting to curve, which is what you want because we're starting to build the body up instead of outwards. Next, we're going to do a round of the mesh stitch. And for this round, we're going to do chain 4 instead of chain 2. And then we're going to skip this first stitch that we usually start working into, and the next one as well. So we're going to be working into this stitch. And in this stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet. And then we're going to chain 1 and skip 1. And in the next, we'll do a double crochet. And we're going to repeat that, chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. And we're going to repeat it all the way around. After our last double crochet, we should have 1 stitch left, and we're going to chain 1, skip that last stitch, and we're going to slip stitch to this chain 4 that we did. So this chain 4 acts as a double crochet and a chain 1. So we're going to leave 1 chain and then slip stitch to this one. And to slip stitch to the chain, we're going to go into the chain and also go under the back loop and a slip stitch. Now our second round of the body is done. And for this pattern, we're going to alternate the round of just 1 double crochet, just the regular round, and then the mesh stitch. So for our next round, we're going to do a regular round of double crochets. So we're going to chain 2 for this round. And we're going to work into the stitch that we slip stitched to. So go back into this chain that we slip stitched to and do a double crochet. And then we're going to do a double crochet into this chain 1 space. So yarn over, insert your hook into this space, and do a double crochet. Then we'll work into the top of this stitch and do 1 double crochet, then into the chain space. And we're going to do a double crochet into every stitch and every chain space all the way around. In the last stitch of this round, we'll go into the last chain 1 space. And we're going to slip stitch. And there is a regular round. And again, we're going to alternate. So next round is going to be a mesh stitch round. So again, for this round, we're going to start with chain 4. And then again, we're going to skip this stitch that we slip stitched to and the next stitch after that. So in this stitch, we'll do a double crochet. And then for the mesh stitch pattern, it's chain 1, skip 1, and double crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. And after our final double crochet, we'll chain 1, skip the last stitch, and we'll slip stitch to the second chain down. So here are 4 chains, and we're going to slip stitch to the second one from the top. Then we're going to do a regular round, so chain 2, double crochet into the same stitch we slip stitch to, and in every chain 1 space and in every stitch. And we're going to keep alternating these 2 rounds until we get the height of the bag that we want. And make sure that you don't make it too long because the bag is likely to stretch a little bit when you have a heavy water bottle in it. So a couple things to remember: for every regular round of double crochets, chain 2, double crochet in every stitch and in every chain space, and then slip stitch at the end. And then for every mesh round, we're going to chain 4 and then skip the first 2 stitches and start double crocheting, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. And then at the end, we'll slip stitch to the second chain down. And we're just going to repeat those 2 rounds until we get the height we want. And you can end on either one of the rounds, on the mesh or on the double crochets. It doesn't really matter. So I stopped after 15 rounds of the body. So I have 3 for the base and then 15 rounds for the body. And it's about 11 centimeters wide. And not counting the bottom, it's about 17.5 centimeters tall. So you can put it on your water bottle and make sure that it fits and it's the right height. Now we're going to do the strap, and to start the strap, we're going to chain 2 and we're going to double crochet the width of the strap that we want. So we'll do 1 double crochet in the first stitch, and then we'll continue double crocheting until we get the width we want. And I'll do 6 double crochets for mine. So here I have 6 double crochets. So my strap will be about 4 centimeters wide. So if you want a wider strap, you can do more double crochets or do less for a thinner strap. Now we're going to start our second row of the strap. So we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we're going to work back across those 6 double crochets that we made. So we'll look for the first stitch, this one here, and we'll go into the V at the top and do a double crochet. And we'll do a double crochet into each of the stitches across. And make sure that you always have the same number of stitches in each row. So I have 6 in this second row. And again, to start a new row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we'll do 1 double crochet into each stitch. So there's my third row, and we're going to continue adding rows until we get the length of the strap that we want. For my strap, I did 50 rows total, and it's about 67 centimeters long. So if you want a shorter strap, you can do less rows, or you can do more rows for a longer strap. And if you want to see if the strap will be long enough, fold the other end back to the last round of the body, and then you can clip it on with bobby pins or stitch markers or safety pins, and then try it on. So I just did that, and this is the right length for me. So once you're happy with the length, we can fasten off. And to fasten off, we're going to chain 1 and then cut our yarn. And we're going to cut it about 10 inches or 25 centimeters. And then just in case, you can do a little extra. And then we're going to pull through with our hook and tighten this knot. So we're going to use this long loose end that we left to sew this side of the strap back to the top of the water bottle holder. So we're going to grab our yarn needle and thread this loose end into the yarn needle. And then we're going to make sure that it's not twisted. So we have laying flat, and then it should loop around and then come back around to reach the other side of the last round on the body. So again, no twists. So since I did an even number of rows, 50, I'm going to have to rotate to work right to left. But if you do an odd number, you don't have to rotate it. So we're going to rotate it like this. So our loose end is on the right side and we can work right to left. Next, we're going to count 12 stitches from the end of our strap on the other side. If you did a different number of rounds in the base or a different number of stitches in the strap width, then your number will be different from mine. So we're going to take the number of stitches in our last round. So for me, I did 3 rounds, so I have 36 double crochets. And then we'll take the number of stitches in our strap, and I did 6 double crochets, and we're going to multiply that by 2. So 6 times 2, that gives me 12. Then subtract that from your first number. So 36 minus 12 is 24. And then divide that number by 2, and that'll give you the number of stitches you should count. So look at the start of the strap, and then look for the first stitch. So you can see the V's at the top, and this really small V, that is the slip stitch. So we're not counting that as a stitch. We'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So after our 12 stitches, the next one after that, we're going to go from the back, under the V, and then pull our needle through. And that'll connect the corner. And we're going to go back into that same stitch, go from the back under the V, and then we're going to go into the first stitch on the right side of the strap. So under the V of this first stitch on the strap, then pull the yarn through, and then we're going to connect the next 5 stitches. So the next stitch on the water bottle holder, go under the V, then over to the next stitch on the strap, under the V, pull the yarn through. Then the next stitch, and the next stitch, pull the yarn through. Then we have 3 more, and we're just going to connect the next 3 stitches together. So now we've connected all 6 stitches, and you can see that it's kind of not perfectly connected on the left end. So we're going to do 1 more stitch. We're going to go back into that same stitch on the water bottle holder. So in the same stitch, and then we're going to go to the left of this last stitch on the strap. So just go into this loop here, all the way on the left edge, and pull the yarn through. And that should connect the end better, and it's not leaving a gap. Now that our strap is fully connected, we can tie a double knot so that the seam doesn't come undone. So we're going to go into a loop near where our yarn is coming out. So we can just go over to this last stitch that we connected to and go under it. And then pull your yarn through, but not all the way through. Make sure you leave a little loop at the end. Then go into that loop with your yarn needle and pull your yarn through. And that'll tie a knot. And we can repeat that one more time for a second knot. Now it's secure, and the last thing to do is to weave in our loose end. So I prefer to weave it in from the inside so it's less likely to show if it pops out. So now I'm on the inside of the strap, not on the outside. And we're basically going to go under the loops of our stitches here. So this last row that we did, let's go under these loops of the double crochets in this row. And then make sure that your yarn needle isn't poking through too much on the other side. And pull the yarn through. But don't pull too tight, just so it's taut. And then we'll go down to another row. And then we can go under these loops too. Again, make sure that your needle's not poking through. Then pull your yarn through, just so it's taut. And for as long as you have this loose end, you can continue weaving it in just to make it extra secure, but you can pretty much stop after a couple of rows. And once you're done weaving it in, we can snip off the excess. And we just need to hide this one other loose end at the very bottom of the water bottle holder. And if you want to add a bow detail to your water bottle holder, we're going to grab some yarn, and I have some scrap yarn and it's the same color as my water bottle. And we're going to make a slip knot, but for the slip knot we don't need that long of a tail. And then we're going to start chaining. So make sure it's at least the circumference plus enough to tie a bow. So here I have 70 chains and it's about 42 centimeters long. You can grab your water bottle and see if it'll fit. And you should have enough length on the ends to tie a bow. So that looks good, and we can fasten off. So once you're done, you can cut your yarn and then just pull through with your hook and tighten the knot. And then we're going to snip the ends short, about an inch. So here I have my string, and then we're going to grab our water bottle holder, and then we're going to look for the mesh stitch between the straps. So you can either count or eyeball it, and you can see that this space is in the middle. So we're going to use our hook and go into that space and then pull our chain through about this long, and then we're going to weave it in and out of the mesh round. So we'll go over to the next space to the right of it and then pull the yarn through. And then from the inside and out the next space. Then from the outside. And we're just going to continue weaving this side of the yarn in and out all the way around. And once we've gone all the way around, we should come back out to the space next to where we first started. And if it's uneven, just pull it around and make sure that it's even. And once they're even, we can tie a bow. And our water bottle holder is finished. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.